Greetings, teacher. I'm about to start my presentation about family ties. This is my fifth attempt, so I really hope this one works out. I have a small family by the side of my mother and a medium family by the side of my father. My mother has two brothers, actually, nowadays, because she had three, but one of them died like 5 years ago, so she only has two now. By the side of my father, my father has like 8 siblings. I have like 4 uncles and 3 aunts. So yeah, my grandparents by the side of my father, they had a lot of more fun. I think they didn't have much technology. I think my grandmother had a bit more technology. She at least had a TV, but they didn't. Uh, they were burned both at the hospital, I'm pretty sure. Well, my mother, I'm sure about my mother. I'm not sure about my father, but I think he was born at a hospital. Um, they didn't get married. They were just boyfriends before having me. They were boyfriends for 2 years, and after that, this Precious showed up. How many siblings do I have? By the side of my mother, I'm an only child, and by the side of my father, I have, I think, 6 or 7 siblings. I'm not really sure. I just know 3 of them, which are next to me: my brother, my sister, and my younger brother. What do I enjoy doing with my siblings? I don't see them quite often. I've got to accept that. Before, I used to meet with them a little bit more when I was like 10 years old or 12 years old. So we used to go to the park, we used to go to the movies, we used to eat out, we used to chat and share news every time we could see each other, every time we had the opportunity. I'm the oldest one. Damn right, I'm the oldest one. I was the first one. I lived with my nuclear family until like 1 year ago. My nuclear family was just my grandmother, my uncle by the side of my mother, and my mother. Recently, I moved with my wife, so now she is my nuclear family. How many aunts and uncle do I have? Well, by the side of my mother, I have one and one uncle and one aunt, and by the side of my father, I have 4 uncles and 3 aunts, so that makes 5 uncles and 4 aunts in total. My extended family, they do have a leader figure. By the side of my mother, it was my grandmother, so it was a matriarch, and by the side of my father, the leader figure was my grandfather, so in that case it was a patriarch. My favorite uncle is, well, the closest to me, the brother of my mother, my uncle Jose Gregorio. We call him Pachito, and I call him Pacho. I'm more relaxed. I don't give a shit. What languages did I hear in my childhood home? Well, I've got to be honest, and you're gonna excuse me, but it was Spanish and shit. More shit than Spanish shit. That people used to talk a lot of shit. If we exchange gifts on holidays, which holidays? On Christmas, I haven't received a Christmas gift since I was like 12 years old. I only receive gifts on my birthday, and I don't usually give gifts. Well, just on birthdays, yeah. But on Christmas, I've never given anything. Mm, who gives the best gifts in my family? My wife. Definitely, my wife. Yep. What do I appreciate about my family? We're really close. We're not many. We're just three people: my grandmother, my mother, and I. And well, now that my wife is also in my nuclear family, four people. Because well, my grandfather, not my grandfather. I'm sorry, my uncle. He abandoned the nuclear family like 10 years ago. So from that day on, my nuclear family kept being just my mother and my grandma, and recently, well, my wife, like about 3 years ago. What I love about us is that we're really close, we're united. My three women, they are three really loving women. They care a lot about me, and I take care about them too. So yeah, that's pretty much what I love about us. How can families provide comfort? I've got a story, and it's kind of a real fun story. I moved in with my wife like 8 months ago, we can say. So we were living now in a small apartment. It's really small. About to show you. It's just a room with a bathroom. That's it. So we didn't have a fridge, we didn't have air conditioner, we didn't have a stove, we didn't have almost anything. We didn't have a wash machine. We don't have a wash machine yet. So my fathers-in-law, they live next to us, and my mother moved really close to us like 3 months ago. So when we moved in together, we had to eat at my father-in-law house. My wife washed the clothes in their house. We used to take everything from their house, and that's some sort of comfort. They supported us a lot in this new experience we are facing. My mother all the time used to tell me if I needed anything, if I needed my clothes clean, I could go there and take the dirty clothes, and she would wash it for me. If I needed food, I could go there, and yeah, if I needed anything, they have always been really supportive. So I think in that way, families can provide a real comfort. Well, this is pretty much it. I tried to answer all of the questions. There are some of them that are not, I can't give an answer, but well, this was it. Thank you very much, teacher. See ya.